Is this working? Oh, for... Oh, for doodle! You special needs, you toggled the microphone off. Anyway, as I just gave a long rambly speech and did my whole introduction unaware, big shout out to Positive. Thank you so much, dude, for pointing that one out. Thank you. I genuinely did not spot that one. It's been one of those days. Good evening. Good evening, English. How are you doing, good sir? I hope you're having a wonderful day, just like everyone else's. It is now time for 20 minutes to commence here in qualifying. With that said, we're going to enable all the necessary graphics to ensure that everybody has the most fun experience possible. None of the drivers are interested in leaving the pit lane now. They are probably getting their setups and adjusting things like front wing levels, rear wing levels, and tyre pressures, as they can be adjusted from session to session. With that said, I think this should be a fantastic race in our hands here, as all 19 of them are very keen to fight it out for this incredible championship. Make sure to subscribe to all three of our uploading accounts: hyper_tier_racing at Twitch, hyper-tier racing on YouTube, and for Doodle V2 to get access to all the races once the season is over, and Twitch to have them live. And now, just as I say that nobody wants to go out, suddenly everybody fancies like leaving the pit lane. I think it's a Haas, so Phoenix is the first out on circuit. Lovely stuff to see that from the American-Russian hybrid team at the moment. So let's jump on board with the Phoenix. I mean, it's not a super serious lap, so you can just enjoy some beautiful graphics here. But as it stands, I think this is going to be a very interesting session. I'd like to see your predictions, stream chat. I'd love to see them. But alas, my personal prediction, looking at the lineups we've got this evening, oof, I'm going to play it a little bit safe-ish and go for an Armour King win. I do not know why. I just think they've not had a win in quite a while here at HTR in terms of main league racing, so I think it is overdue to see the Welsh Dragon get a win at this championship. But we are about to go on board with Phoenix, as that Haas engine is extremely loud. Oh, they nearly cut the chicane there, but all is good. A slightly compromised entry, but I'm sure the sweat has already started as they've invalidated their run. Matthews on the mediums, sand badges on the mediums. There's a yellow flag, but I think it's just cars letting other cars through. The head is not on a run at the moment, but they will be in just a few moments' time, as now their flying lap or flying run has commenced. Oh, but they back off for some reason. They invalidated that final corner. Right, on board with Druid then, who is yet to complete a lap time. Will probably be one of the first to do so. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's a Mercedes there, but I think they're just letting other cars through. Yeah, they are, so it's nothing to report. Oh no, it's just Positive there, being happy citizen and letting everybody through. Breaking down now into turn, well, one of the last ones, as there's another car letting another car through. But now Druid has got a lot to prove. I think they did in the sense of trying to win the title, if that is their aspiration. But they did a fantastic race last time, though, managed to achieve second place there. Excellent stuff there by the British drivers. Matthews got on par with 1 minute 10.1. Druid's gone a little bit faster with a... Oh, but then Smidgey's got even faster with a 9.5. The Aston Martin driver getting an excellent run there. And I'm sure that'll be a run they are absolutely proud of. Pepski with a 1 minute 10.1. And Matthew just 3/10 shy of that. But they are on the medium tyres, so they could easily find another for 10th if they wanted to. Excuse me. Estallo darts out of the way. as the Haas teammate is letting through, but these drivers have all invalidated the lap times. The head did set a 1 minute 21, but it was invalidated, and I believe they do have enough fuel for quite a few runs actually. I think I can see 4.5 on the dashboard of the Red Bull car, so I think that'll be easily a few more runs in this qualifying session, but we'll jump on board. How high can the head go? That is a very good question indeed to answer. Again, stream chat, if you've got any questions or would like to donate, please do so and we'll acknowledge it. As Druid sets the fastest time so far with a 1 minute 9.2 there. Fantastic stuff from the British driver, removing any shoulders or any chips on the shoulders at least when it comes to their qualifying pace. Again, track evolution will be kicking in, which is when more dirt is laid down from the circuit and the surface becomes more worn, allowing the drivers to push even harder on newer compounds of rubber, as the head can only go 5th with a 1 minute 10.2. Right. As Andrea is on invalidated, remember Basketball Dan has set 1 minute 1 through the first sector. But lower in the standings is the Alpine team principal, but I am sure they could have a great result today if all goes their way. Coming through the final corner, can they dodge the wall of champions? Yes, so far nobody's hit that infamous wall, which is always a good start to your Canadian Grand Prix, as that was clearly a banker lap, as it is a 1 minute 31. Very unrepresentative there. Positive. Might not complete their lap. No, they do not. Sam could complete their lap. They're going to do so on a set of medium tyres, so again this is not going to be fully representative of their true pace, but it's a 1 minute 10.6. Not bad, puts them into 8th place. I could see them getting as high as 5th, maybe 4th to push on some soft, so let's see what one of my fellow commentators can do in this tier. But with that said, I don't think... Oh, Hurricane is on a run, interestingly. Let us see what the new AlphaTauri driver can achieve in moving from Alpine to AlphaTauri. 4th fastest, an excellent run there at a 1 minute 9.61 that I'm surely he must be very proud of so far, given the circumstances of the track not fully rubbering in. But everybody is starting in as Phoenix, sorry, has set a 1 minute 12.3. Thank you, Norton. Alpine for the win. Easy. Easy win, huh? Easy win. That's somewhat a domination. Okay, I'll be very interested to see if that comes to fruition. Basketball Dan on their second run sets a 10.2. Not a bad lap time, given we are just coming to halfway of the session's duration for qualifying, which is usually 20 minutes in length in short qualifying mode. However, speaking of Alpine drivers, the other one is a new, well, I say a new face, somebody who did not get a full-time contract in the first half of the season. Packafan127 here, the American, the real American, is on a charge, but locking up there. They have shown some good pace throughout their time here at HTR, but will a bit of rust kick in, as they've not been in a full-time contract for quite some time. With that said, it's going to be DRS all the way open, so they're going to brake now, turn right and then left, and it's a beautiful push, but they've invalidated their run. The American has invalidated, but it would have been a 10.3. That would have slot them, ladies and gentlemen, into 9th. Ooh, I think they're going to be a little bit gutted with that one. But Spenny is on a run. One of our... somebody who, at least in my time, is a bit of a newer face to the HTR rostrum. But somebody who has been around in actuality for quite a while. But certainly, if you are a viewer of us since our Twitch days, you will know that this is one of the newish faces to the public eye. As Armour King there has gone 7th. My prediction for a race winner with a 1 minute 10.1 there. Interesting stuff from the Welsh Dragon. With that said, it currently is an A top 4. So if you like the letter A, it's in the top 4 with Alfa Romeo, then an Aston Martin, then another Alfa Romeo, excuse me, and an AlphaTauri. But Spenny turns that car nice and easy. That nearly getting on the grass. That could have costed them massively there. They're going to get the toe from their teammate Andrea, who plays the team game and lets Spenny go through. Fantastic stuff there by a young Italian driver. And now it is DRS, a little bit of a compromised exit there into that corner, but it is pole position with a 1 minute 9.1. I think we could get into the low 1 minute 7s. Sorry, high 1 minute 7s. What am I even saying? Basically, around a 1 minute 7.8, I think could be achieved by our tier 1 drivers this evening. Smidgy is on a run. Matthew is on a run. Lurcher for the win. Well, I'm sure that you may want to put that prediction tomorrow, because there is no Lurcher competing within tonight's race, I'm afraid. As it looks like Spenny is going faster slightly, but they invalidated their run. With that said, I think due to the nature of Canada not consuming as much fuel to the amount you have to lift off, and the game having a very high, amount of fuel you can use, drivers can easily get a good 2 runs. Excuse me, I'd say they would go for. But can I just say, whoever predicted Lurcher for the win, I like your username. A wild pie is Hurricane, has set at a 1 minute 9.7 there, the Tottenham supporter. I'm sure doing a decent second run at the moment. And Pakistan is on their second run, boosting all the way now with the DRS and the ERS on hot slap. I suspect it's a 1 minute 10.5. Ooh, that's going to make the Alpine win a very interesting prediction. But Basketball Dan has found half a second here. This could be a bit of a jump up the order. Let's see what the Electric Boogaloos can do. At the moment, Druid's retired. Oh, Druid has obviously gone off somewhere, and that is a massive shame for the Alfa Romeo driver, who may tumble down the order knowing how competitive this grid is. But the Mercedes driver comes to the line. It's almost half a second improvement there into 8. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that run. Meanwhile, Matthew 7034 has gone up by 3/10. The soft runs, those sweaty runs, are coming into effect. English Matthew to win. Well, let's see if this happens, big boy. Let's see if this happens indeed, as Matthew comes across the line beautifully there. Does not touch the wall of champions. Excellent delivery out of the corner. Let's see if that's a signed sealed pole. It is the signed sealed pole with a 1 minute 8.9. Fantastic stuff there. If you are an Alfa Romeo fan, I'm sure you'll be buzzing. Positive did set a lap time for 1 minute 9.4. So excellent stuff there from the Tier 2 reigning champion. Phoenix is going up slightly and has not invalidated their run. So we'll jump on board with the Haas, as Sandbadger, interestingly, is set on 1 minute 9.6 there. Good enough for 7th. Pretty good run by the Badger indeed. I'm sure that'll be a run they'll be very satisfied with, given the context of everything in this race. We'll jump on board with Phoenix, as they are one of the ones looking like they're going to complete a run the most. As Andrea has snatched pole position there with a 1 minute 8.8. Fantastic stuff there from the McLaren. I think we're starting to see a bit of a recurring pattern. Oh, but Phoenix has invalidated the run. You cannot take too much curve around the Wall of Champions area. It will cost you in a qualifying run. Let's see what Sam does. Currently sitting in 18th out of 19th cars. Yeah, don't worry. I figured English, but thank you for the observation. As Sam comes across the line, it would have been a 3/10 improvement, which would have slotted them into 17th place, sorry. Right, who else is where? Andrea's invalidated their lap time, but well done to the Italian there, who's lost their front wing, but has managed to go on pole position with a 1 minute 8.8, and I have a feeling some rain could be coming down, viewers, and that is why the drivers are even more keen to set a lap time. I mean, obviously, there's no rain particles as far as I can see on that McLaren chassis, but who knows? As Hurricane is sensing something in their beautiful new helmet. And let's see what Hurricane can do here. The number 46. Let us see what they can do here. Moved across from Alpine to AlphaTauri, wanting just a new change of scenery really, and I do not blame them. They will be signed with me for the rest of the season to replace Tundra, who sadly broke his wrist. So again, on behalf of the whole league, we wish him a speedy recovery. But not many drivers now, with 2 minutes to go, setting a lap time. I say that and everybody's going to start leaving the pit lane, aren't they? Yeah, that's how it works. Creations is going out for a run. Again, did a fantastic job last time, if I am not mistaken. But I can actually clarify to you all what did happen last time. If I move over to the good old results screen, it was Creations did snatch the fastest lap, so congratulations to them on that extra bonus point. But it was Thallo who's currently waiting until, I'd assume now, to get going. It would be a bit interesting if they did not make a move, unless of course they've got a penalty to serve, as Veloce has left the session, so I don't know what was going on there. But Thallo did win your Bahrain Grand Prix from Druid, and then Pepsi in 3rd, Smidgy in 4th, Spenny in 5th, Hurricane 6th in their last race for Alpine, Creation 7th, Kevin 8th, Basketball Dan 9th, and Positive 10th there, with a couple of other drivers finishing there or thereabouts. So this is it. Knowing the circuit's length now, if a driver wants to set a lap time, they have to be out the pit lane now to set it. Otherwise they have to stay in Creation's first set of time. Puts them into 3rd on 1 minute 9.0. Not bad at all. Next up, I think it's an AlphaTauri coming across the line of Hurricane, who's got about a couple of tenths faster, 2 tenths faster. Nearly 3. Excellent stuff there. Not quite able to beat Druid, but very close. There's a bit of a parking lot going on here between the 2 Alpines, a Ferrari and an AlphaTauri. Right, who is up next on the road? I think it's an Alfa Romeo, but they're on a hot run. So Sandbadge is also on a hot run. What about the Mercedes on a run? Thallo is on a run. So we'll start then with Matthew, 7034, as everybody is now going to be very keen to cross the line. I'm not sure if even half of the cars will settle the time, but we'll see what happens here, as we've just got a couple of laps to go until the end. A couple of seconds in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gone. Qualifying is officially over, so the drivers will have to set the last time. So the likes of if I can find someone in that situation, as Phoenix has retired from the session, interestingly, of Hurricane, will have to finish their run now. So let's see what the AlphaTauri can do. They have got enough fuel in that car. It's put them into 6th there, but a bit of a more conservative lap there. The Armour Kinga got 13th, a good 2/10 improvement. Meanwhile, whilst Basketball Dan did go 4/10 up and spun! Oh, luckily they've kept their car in one piece. But that was a very solid improvement there, up to the top 10. Right, on board with Matthew now. Let's see if he can get pole position. He's got it by 2/10. It's not enough! It's only good enough for P2, just shy by 4,000ths of a second. Right, there could be some other movers, but we're going to focus on Spenny here. Let's see what the McLaren can do. If his teammate got pole position, can he snatch it off him? Oh, a bit of a drifty final corner there. Positive into 5th place. Let's see what happens now. Spenny stays 4th. Right, Creations is not a hot run, nor is Andrea. So we're going to have to go down further down the order to see if anybody can get this pole position, as Hurricane is charging fast and furiously to try and prove something to their boss, I am sure. They cut the corner slightly. That's invalidated their run. Oh, what a massive shame. Smitty has cut their corner. Sandbadger is on a run. Basketball Dan cannot. Sam W11 is on a run as Creations is retired from the session. Pepsi with a 5-place grid penalty for colliding into Creations. What has happened there in the pits lane? Oh dear, I'm sure that'll be investigated by the stewards team. The first of many accidents. I am positive about that one. However, the last driver to settle that time, it is all down to Sam. Can he somehow find a magical pole position, unless my graphic is blocking me, in which case that is just fun, and yeah, it is blocking me. So, as it stands, unless if it is Sam and he's good run, no it is not. He did got by 8/10 there, a fantastic lap time with a 1 minute 9.8, so I'm not sure who's still got to run. But it is Andrea on pole position there in the McLaren car. What you love to see from Matthew Creations in the Alfa Romeo and Williams respectively. Then it is Spenny, Andrea's teammate in the McLaren in 4th. Red Sug doing a fantastic job with his new recruits. So, we've gone through the top 4, then it is Positive in 5th, a good run by the British driver, Druid in 6th, Hurricane in 7th, Smidgy in 8th, Sandbadger in 9th, Armakinger in 10th, Basketball down in 11th, Phoenix 12th, Sam 13th, Kevin Annihilator 14th, only missing out there on 13th by an incredible 7 thousandths of a second. Jerker in 15th, Pakistan 16th, 17th, The Head 18th, and Thallow in 19th, but Pepsi will be starting last anyway because they have a 5-place grid penalty. Oh, stream chat, that is going to be a very saucy grid. The top 2 were separated by 4 thousandths of a second at the line. Oh, that is absolutely mental. That is absolutely barnacles. Interesting legend. Matthew to win, Sam back. Unlucky there, Jerker. But there is still a race to go. It looks like we could be seeing some mixed weather conditions. The drivers will only know this information, but, I mean, come on, it is looking pretty grey in the skies there, mixed with some sunshine, so we do not know which end of the pits lane, or the weather forecast, sorry, it will go down. But whilst we are seeing the second part of the pits lane, as somebody has been very keen to go racing, either that or it has been signalled by an official. We will find out the tyre strategies in just a moment. Obviously, the top 10 will have to start on the tyres they qualified, which I believe is softs, the red marked compound, but everybody behind, so from 11 to 19, can choose what tyres they want to go on for the race, whether it be some mediums or hards, or they could alternatively go onto a fresher pair of soft tyres. So the 2 dots will not come on at all, and the cars will gently go off the field. Right, let's go and look at some tyre graphics then, shall we? So Andrea, your pole position sitter, has managed to achieve... Do you know what? I'm going to actually... there. Connectivity issues. Cannot connect to one or more players, possibly causing included players farewell configurations, ISP problems. Your bandwidth connection is poor. The host network connection is poor. Wow. Yes, that is one of the changes Codemasters have brought to version 1.15. You now get to see the host bandwidth, the general bandwidth, and connectivity issues. So just be warned, the lobby might have a few aliens about, who knows. But Andrea is on the softs, along with all the other top 10 drivers. Interestingly, Basketball Dan and Phoenix opted for the softs, with Sam W11 going on the mediums there. A brave call from the new Haas signing. Kevin Annihilator on the softs. Jerker going for the mediums. An excellent choice there from the Czech soldier. Pakistan, the head, Thallow are on softs, with Pepsi on the mediums in last. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining the stream, but basically, Andrea got pole position by 4,000ths of a second. I know, absolutely insane stuff, but the Italian is going to be leading the front lines at HTR, despite how their race ended last time. I think you're mistaken, English. I don't think it's 8.4 seconds. Oh, the time. Yes, if it was the time, that is the one you are looking for. It is a 1 minute 8.4 for the two of them. But again, you can always watch the stream back, 14 days live here on Twitch, and then another, what's the word, forevermore on YouTube, both at HTR Racing and But that said, the 10 red dots come on, and there's a lot of jumping about. Oh, it was a false start. Here they come, 3 dots, 4 dots, 5 dots. And away they pub crawl. It's Andrea gets an excellent start off the line. A beautiful cover off. The Alfa Romeo Creations is seeking to get that lead. And does that pretty much good for second, I should say. The lead was not quite successful, but certainly was second. A lot of movers and shakers, but thankfully all 19 of them make it through the first corner relatively successfully. It is excellent stuff to watch. Meanwhile, any moves going on, not quite at the back, but the front. Andreas pulled a massive gap over Creations, who was creating a bit of a train, I have to say. For the likes of Matthew and Spenny, let's go on board here. What's Matthew going to do? Is he going to try any manoeuvres? Again, the Canadian walls are notoriously strict, and the corner cutting penalties are basically do not go over the extra orange things, otherwise you're in massive trouble. The tyre strategy today is roughly a 2 or 3 stop, with a soft medium medium or a soft medium medium, but again, 1 stop could work, because there's contact there between Matthew and Spenny. Oh, was that giving the McLaren some front wing damage? I wonder. Meanwhile, further behind, everybody has successfully negotiated the first lap. No dramas. Hallelujah! A HTR race without dramas is what you love to see on lap 1. Hopefully I haven't spoken too soon. And it looks like the Sand Badger has crawled off that section of the corner. There's a fastest lap already claimed by Andrea. But Druid is going to try and get 6th place. But close, but no cigar, is the old saying. The Ferrari will keep 5th as Hurricane gets a little bit close to Spinaladrome, but thankfully they just need to keep it calm, keep it cool. Positive is not pushing at the moment, so they don't need to worry that hard about the Mercedes driving. Meanwhile, Smidgy, formerly Kieran or Kirangis, is doing a respectable job there, 9th in the Aston Martin. But Andrea pulling an absolute worldie of a gap there. 2 seconds in 2 laps. This man, this past few races, has found an absolute new level of pace, and hopefully we do not jinx their formers. Meanwhile, Spenny is trying to make Creation's life an absolute living nightmare, it seems, as Sam W11 there gets a manoeuvre done on basketball down on the medium tyres for the Haas, so an excellent overtake on their return to the league as a driver full time. But Creations and Matthew there nearly going into the Wall of Champions, but using their excellent car control skills to save it. And sadly, Phoenix is a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. The first, I'm sure, of what will be many, knowing how strict the Canadian qualifying was. Thank you for the sweet compliments, a wild pie. Thank you for your pleasantries. But let us see what the Mercedes are positive can do here. Not much at the moment, it's okay, no need to panic if you are an AlphaTauri. Just need to keep it calm as this DRS going to be enabled. Could be a move around the inside, but Positive backs out, wanting to keep their car in one piece there. Excellent stuff from those two. Meanwhile, as Andreas pulled an absolute seismic gap, Positive is going to go around the inside here. Hurricane, excellent defence by the Tottenham supporter. And bit of wheel banging there. I think the stewards might want to look at that one, so the best thing could be to let them through, or do a little cheeky switcher back and try to get them. But the tactic has worked from Hurricane. They have got Positive's DRS. Positive did have DRS off another car. I don't think that was the case, because Hurricane got the DRS of Druid. As we are on to lap 3 again, the laps are very short around the circuit at Montreal, as you can imagine. Phoenix is making a pit stop. I think they might have damage, it seems, from some other points in time. But now it is Hurricane in 7th from Positive in 8th place there. And Creation's got a penalty! And it's a spin round for the head The head has lost the body, it seems. Oh no, they've spun right round. An excellent 360 there. One of Formula Drift I'm sure would be proud of. But alas, it has not been a good stint for them. As Creations has picked up a penalty, it seems. What a catastrophe for them, of 3 seconds in worth. That could drastically stuff over their chances of winning a race, but it is a long Grand Prix ahead, and they'll be able to slowly just chip away at the others with persistence. I'm sure as Matthew there is getting a bit of a drift out of that final corner. I wonder if they maybe prop their rear tyre pressures too high or something. But Positive finally gets the move done on Hurricane. Again, Hurry doesn't have the DRS to hurry, you know, just wants the Mercedes to dart right through them, I'm sure. As now an Aston Martin is chasing behind the AlphaTauri on full-on push mode, it seems. Whilst Positive is not really that fussed at the moment in what's going on behind. Oh, it is Sam now with another 3-second time penalty for 3 corner cutting offences. There's a yellow flag, and I think it's the head. The head really has been decapitated now, it seems, and is sadly having a few spinalas. One too many, it seems. But this could give Phoenix a chance here. Bear in mind, they are on mediums, so we'll probably have to do another stop. But we'll see how it goes. As now, we're on board with the Sand Badger to see what happens in this epic fight for second. Again, as you're seeing, these DRS trains are starting to happen now, where there'll be little groups of cars fighting tooth and nail for each respective position, and now it looks like Creations is going to seek a move on Matthew, not using ERS, neither driver actually interested in the overtake that badly. Oh, and interestingly, Sam has got lost 12th to Jerker there, and Thallow has made a couple of positions. But there's no changes at the front as it stands. Meanwhile, further behind, we can see Jerker getting an excellent job there on Sam W11. Again, they are on the medium tyres, so they need to be dispatched up relatively quickly before the tyre wear fades. Oh, there's an Aston Martin off. It's Kevin. He's been annihilated by someone. There's a penalty for what I believe is the head, probably. Actually, I was going to say Hurricane, but it is the head of 3 seconds, sorry. I'm trying to find the best place for the Twitch bar, and I've just figured out where it is, but I can't stop the action now because it is just too intense. Another 3-second time penalty, and I think this time it is for a reoccurring driver, so nothing alternative but Smidgy making a very desperate move on Hurricane there. Hurricane very keen to not lose 8th place, but in practice it'll probably be easy to just let it go, as Creations has made the move on Matthew with the power of DRS. Second place has changed again. Matthew could just use Creations as a bit of a DRS assistance tool to push them further up the order, but the Williams has beaten the Alfa Romeo, just like in the real life season, and Thallow is even getting past what's it called, Sam. But meanwhile, it is TP versus TP action here. Armour Kinga versus Basketball Down. Let's see what the Ferrari is. An excellent drive out of the corner. Beautiful stuff there by the Welsh Dragon. A little bit of a tap, but no damage given, and that was an excellent move there by Armour Kinga for 10th place at this Canadian Grand Prix. Can the Alpine team principal do a switchback? No, they cannot, and they could be susceptible to Jerker, who, being on the medium tyres and the front runner of those medium tyre group, as Kevin Annihilator is making a very early pit stop there onto some mediums. Is in pole position to lead once everybody on the soft tyres has made their pit stop. As now Jerker's going to go around the outside. Is this going to work on Basketball Dan? Can he send him back to the hoops? He cannot off the corner, but he's going to use ERS and probably get the DRS from Basketball Dan, but Dan will also get the flap from the Welsh Dragon, but lets Jerker have the place back, trying to fight around the outside, but to no avail, but actually comes in for a pit stop. So I think a few drivers are. Spenny, Hurricane, Dan and Thallow are all making pit stops. They will drop down, but they will have that undercut. And let's see what they go on to, more importantly. So Spenny's mediums, Hurricane's mediums, Dan is mediums, Thallow is medium. So everybody who is pitted has moved on to a set of medium tyres, indicated by the yellow side markings. So for everybody who is running on soft tyres now and is 12th place or higher, that tyre wear should be absolutely dreadful. The head is also making a pit stop as well. But meanwhile, the fight for second keeps getting intense, and there's another penalty for someone. But again, with this Twitch bar, I cannot identify who just yet. But I'm sure you will keep it in touch as the Sand Badger makes an excellent move around Matthew Van Driest, there, creating a podium opportunity in the Ferrari now. It is Ferrari versus Ferrari power unit. What can Matthew do? He goes to the inside. The Sand Badger goes to the outside. Full on there, but Matthew darts it into the pit lane, probably throwing the Ferrari off course a little bit. And now the Williams will boost all the way around the inside of this corner to the left. Can he make it work? Yes, he can. He could be creating an excellent pass here. They're going to go side by side through the first couple of corners at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, but the Sand Badger stays ahead. Excellent drive between these two, even coming on the grass. Almost could have been a Vettel 2019 scenario, but thankfully it was not. Matthew has pitted onto mediums, so yeah, everybody has basically just pitted onto a set of medium tyres. So we'll see how long the mediums can go in this race. The game is saying a 2-stop, but again, if you can stretch out that sort of either the softs or the mediums, you could then end up doing a soft medium soft race. And actually, all that lovely rain talk I was talking about looks like it has vanished as Andreas pulled an absolute weapon of a gap. But let's see what happens in this fight for second place. Once again, a couple of drivers could be making some moves further down, but I think the Sand Badger has pulled a very big advantage over the Williams as it stands. None of them using ERS in any way, shape or form. But it's not the Ferrari's turn to pit though. The Williams and the Ferrari staying out, but crucially the race leader is in. So, the McLaren driver from Italy, as we can indicate, Andrea 330, the Season 1 Tier 2 champion, is coming in. There's a speeding in the pit lane offence for someone, I'm not quite sure who. There's a couple of drivers darted in. Druid is getting their wing changed and going on to a set of medium tyres. Positives on mediums. Druid is onto mediums, and that should boost a couple of drivers up the order. As Sam has spun on a fresh set of, on an old set of mediums at 9 laps. The British commentator is struggling to keep those tyre temperatures together, and oh, that's a massive shame there. They were doing so well in the Haas car. But alas, it is 10th place for them at the moment. Out of the drivers who have pitted, Andrea is in the lead of this group in 7th place, but now comes onto this train for 4th place that is frontlined by a certain number 28, Czech of Jerka 2009. But let's see what happens at the front. Will these two finally make that precious pit stop? No, they do not. They're going to stay out. They're going to try and do a long soft stint. Very interesting here to see what these two will do. But Smidgy comes in, so Jerka should take Smidgy's place. They're starting 3rd prior to the pit stop, only 4th in the pits. They remember that they are an Aston Martin driver coming into the pit lane, and it is on to a set of medium compound tyres. As a McLaren and an Alfa Romeo received penalties, but Andrea is going around the inside, not just of his teammate, but looks like a Pepsi as well. Beautiful stuff by the Italian there, and that is them climbed up 2 positions into 4th. Fantastic stuff, and now Matthew will be wanting to get past this queue very quickly here, but Spenny's going to try a move on Pepsi. Let's see what happens. It's the McLaren 1-2, and Matthew uses the door opener. Pepsi, who has had their undergarments absolutely pulled down on those 10-lap mediums. But man, Matthew's overtake certainly has got to be a contender for overtake of the race. I'm sorry, but that was beautiful. And now Jerka's going to be struggling on those mediums, locks up a bit there, just knows that he does not need to fight this one. If anything, it will slow him down the more he uses ERS and resists the McLaren. A bit like a certain type of catastrophe that could happen. But anyway, the AlphaTauri darts out of the way, lets the Italian fly past in the McLaren car, and thus that'll be a very easy 3rd place. Now, it'll be the same situation for, I assume, Spenny and Matthew, because those mediums are still relatively fresh. And yeah, the AlphaTauri does not make it too hard, makes it a bit of a pain, but nothing too unmanageable there in 5th place. Yeah, over the Alpine there, basketball down, taking a very interesting line through the chicane that consists of the Wall of Champions there. Very interesting stuff. as now Jerkham has done a nice job at parking Matthew, but with those fresh mediums against those older ones, Jerker knows there's not much left within the tyres. Oh, it's a very tight squeeze there from the Alfa Romeo, but it's okay, no damage has been given to either car. And so the McLaren he'll be behind the McLaren now, will Matthew, of Spenny F1, but Andrea on those fresher mediums and having the track advantage beforehand is absolutely yeeting away from his teammate. Maybe his teammate is playing the team game here and deliberately sandbagging behind, just so that Matthew has a right old nightmare of a time. In the Alfa Romeo again, they're trying to restore the gap that was present prior to the safety car, and so Creations is coming in. Finally, off those sort of softs. Could this be enough to do maybe a soft, medium, soft perhaps? Who knows, but Sandbadgers showing they can go at least 12 laps long. Excellent stuff there from the Ferrari drivers. A couple of drivers making moves like Creations and Kevin are getting past their car, another car respectively there. And Druid has also got past Sam, so clearly Sam on those 12 lap mediums is struggling chronically, very badly. But positive on the fresher mediums, but not too much of jerk from Hurricane, so let's see what happens here. Positive thinking about the move, but not yet available. Again, the Mercedes driver, I'd say, has got slightly more ERS and is not deploying it now. Another penalty for multiple corner cutting warnings by for another driver, actually 2 in a row there. But Hurricane is defending like a lion against Positive, but we'll see what the gentleman who informed me that my microphone wasn't working can do. He's going to go around the inside. Hurricane does not fight that one too much. He doesn't have DRS. He knows it's a stupid fight to fight for when you do not even have the flap open so that your car can take off like a rocket ship. And another round of drag reduction systems for good measure as Sandbadger finally enters the pit lane and goes on to a set of mediums. So, as there's a speeding in the pit lane offence, probably for Sam sadly, so that race is going from bad to worse. Somebody picked up a multiple warnings there. But Andrea leads on 4 lap mediums from Matthew, 5 lap mediums, and Spenny on 6 mediums. Fair play to Jerker and Pepski though, for managing to keep 4th and 5th on 13 lap mediums. I'm sure they must be screaming to be rejected now. But Pepski has got a bit of a train going, so it's worth the AlphaTauri just keep staying out and keep it calm, because it could be one less stop, and that could be a lot of pace gained in the long haul. But Pepski is keeping the train of the likes of Positive, Hurricane behind, as Spenny has gone to the outside and made an excellent move on Matthew. 7.034 there, defended the position absolutely masterfully, and we'll see what happens here as Positive has now got past Pepski. But it looks like Jerk has come in anyway and timed that to perfection as the AlphaTauri driver, but Spenny successfully defends from the fast-charging Matthew. 7.034. Positive doing a great job to nurse themselves in the 4th. Jerk are going on to softs now. Interesting and very influential strategy call, as is Pepski. So clearly these two doing the counter strategy, it seems. Now they'll be able to fly through the order with everyone's softs being so... mediums, I should say, being so worn, especially, you know, given the fact that the mediums are going to be up to about 5-6 laps. By the time their softs get going, all the mediums will not be as optimal as before. So again, it is not a bad day in the office if you are on those softs at this stage in the Grand Prix. However, Spenny has to now defend from Matthew once again. We saw his epic Hamilton-Alonso fighting, but this time does not have much DRS. Matthew does not use much DRS either, but successfully gets the move done. And now, as Matthews picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh, that has massively changed the complexion of this race. Excellent psychological build-up play by, as I think the head's gone on the penalty, is a yellow flag. It's a Red Bull of the head. Oh dear, the less said about their race so far, the better they will be. They'll want this one to be forgotten, and so we'll forget about their performance. But now, Matthew has got a task. Can he hunt down Andrea, but not just by 1.7 seconds, and get the DRS, and get past him, but also, crucially, build a 3-second barrier with another pit stop to go? I would love to see what the Alfa Romeo driver can do in these circumstances. Is creation seeking to move themselves up a place? Have they created a new destiny for themselves? Not yet, as they will stay in 5th place behind Positive there. As Sam W11 has successfully made it past Basketball down there off screen and has moved themselves into 17th place there. I'm sure they'll be very happy with that one, as another driver has picked up a penalty. Whilst the race were in a quiet moment, let's run you through the penalty count as it stands. Matthew 7034, hunting down Andrea, is on 3 seconds, Creations on 6, Hurricane is on 3, Druid is on 6, but crucially has to defend now from the Sand Badger. What can the Badger do? Will he say Badger, Badger, Mushroom? I think he will, and that is the Badger up into 8th place there in the Scuderia Amazon Web Services machine. Pretty easily. Bear in mind, Druid does not have any DRS assistance, but the Sand Badger is got, I should say, 3 seconds of time penalties with Druid on 6 seconds. Pack-a-Fan, interestingly, has 14 of them, so that will not be good for them. Pepsi has got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Phoenix has got 9.